Chapter 41, Leaving a Message on a Knight's Departure. Han Li didn't have much time left. At most, he had another 4 to 5 months before he and Dr. Mo completely revealed their trump cards. Before then, he had no choice but to acquire skills to defend himself. As a result, he ultimately decided to only cultivate the simpler and easier mysterious techniques that could be used immediately. The more difficult ones would be put to the side temporarily. After he managed to escape the tiger's den, it would not be too late to resume practicing them. This would greatly cut down his cultivation time, enabling him to quickly and thoroughly master many of the simpler secret techniques. Han Li's mind understood. Even if he could completely master this secret technique, he wouldn't necessarily be Dr. Mo's match. If Dr. Mo hadn't been lying last time, his strength would be comparable to that of a region's illustrious overlord. Han Li did not know how many ferocious and vicious moves hadn't been exposed during their last counter. He feared that the skills that Dr. Mo had revealed was only a fraction of his true strength. As Han Li thought of Dr. Mo's monstrous agility, a burst of cold fear entered his mind. He was well aware that the time he had to learn was short and that any threat he could muster against Dr. Mo would be awfully marginal, almost negligible, but to have his hands tied and allow himself to be manipulated was something Han Li could not allow. Han Li knew that if he were to raise his hand against Dr. Mo, he would only have one decisive opportunity to seize a victory. Dr. Mo would most likely look down on him. Only by using Dr. Mo's carelessness and negligence against him would Han Li be able to catch him off guard and possibly obtain the opportunity to live. In the following days, Han Li finished memorizing all of the blinking sword art manuals. From the manuals, he selected the secret techniques that were the most useful to him. He began to research them, meditating on the cultivation paths that would yield the quickest results. He racked his brains for a few days. An entire set of cultivation methods from the manuals were laid out before him. Within this short time period, he was able to complete such a complicated task, making him feel pleased that his efficiency was extraordinary. During the second half of the month, Han Li handled a few trivial affairs, fully preparing himself by making sure that there was nothing left to worry about. First of all, he returned the secret manuals to Li Feiyu and took the opportunity to tell him about his encounter with the feral Wolfgang spies as well as the real identity of the kitchen steward. After Li Feiyu heard this, he was pleasantly surprised. He embraced Han Li's shoulders and repeatedly said, "Good brother," for presenting him with such a great merit without taking any of the credit. This moved him greatly. However, he didn't know that Han Li's life was currently busy. How could Han Li possibly think about catching a spy? By telling Li Feiyu, Han Li wouldn't have to trouble himself with the matter and would also be currying favor from the senior disciple at little cost to himself. What would Han Li have against this? Once he finished his business with Li Feiyu, Han Li paid a visit to the sect's most skilled blacksmiths. He then placed orders for several daggers and secretly requested a few minor modifications. In addition, he ordered a few seemingly useless and obscure items, including several small exquisite iron bells. He also requested that all the items be forged with haste. As a result of his large purchase, Han Li had spent a considerable amount of silver, causing him to feel a slight heartache. Several days later, Han Li received his order from the blacksmiths. Seeing the shining daggers and small exquisite bells, he was very satisfied. He showered the blacksmith with praise, knowing that his silver was not spent in vain. That night, Han Li left his residence and disappeared without a trace. The only thing he left behind was a slip of paper on his bedside with the following words, "Elder Mo, you need not worry, I did not run away and hide. I merely felt that being with you in the valley was far too stifling to cultivate the eternal spring arts. For this reason, I decided to find a different secluded location in this mountain and enter closed-door cultivation. Please be at ease. After 4 months, I will punctually return and meet with you. With respect." Han Li reading this out loud while sitting on his armchair, Dr. Mo grabbed the slip of paper in his left hand and quietly looked at it, his face still covered by dark clouds. On the side of the table, there was another note from the blacksmith, detailing Han Li's recent order. At this moment, Dr. Mo lightly tapped the desk with a finger from his right hand. Poo-poo, no other sound echoed. Suddenly, he coldly snorted. The paper in his hand turned to fine ash and drifted into the air. He stood up unsteadily and paced around the room. Dr. Mo wrinkled his brow in contemplation. After pacing back and forth a few times, he stopped and said to himself, "Little bastard, although I don't know what sly plan you have in mind, you will not escape the palm of my hand regardless of what trick you play. I need you too much to allow that to happen." After he finished speaking, Dr. Mo suddenly turned around and walked to the window. A low and lengthy whistle left his mouth. Immediately after, a small and obscure yellow feathered bird flew into the window. It flew several circles around the room before landing on his shoulder. A single small bird stood firm. It affectionately rubbed its beak against his face, letting out a melodious glulu. "All right, I know you're hungry. Here, it's your favorite yellow chestnut pill." Upon seeing the bird, Dr. Mo's gloomy face revealed traces of a doting smile. From his pocket, he took out a yellow ball of bird feed and put it into the little bird's mouth. "Go. It will be like before. Follow that person diligently. If he leaves the mountain range, return to me immediately." Dr. Mo spoke to it as if he were talking to a person. Glulu. After finishing its meal, the little bird let out an excited coo and flew around the room. After hearing his words, it left through the window and its figure faded away into the sky. Humph. Under the surveillance of the cloud-winged bird, known to travel even faster than a flying arrow, "I wonder what trick she will pull," he said to himself sinisterly. 4 months? I will wait for the day of your arrival. It appears that my plan will be a success. Who would dare obstruct my progress? If they obstruct my plans, I will kill them. If a god hinders me, that god will die. If a Buddha hinders me, then that Buddha will die. Ha 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 ha. Dr. Mo suddenly laughed wildly, his eyes filled with a crazed expression.